Hello and welcome to another Ginger Below, the show in which my wife banishes me to the basement, and then the only way that I can entertain myself is by entertaining you. Ooh, wow, unlocked advantage. Nice. All right, so I'm turning this on so I can see if there's any chats coming in. Hi, Missy. How are ya? Missy in the house. All right. So this should be an interesting talk. This is not my usual talk. This is not me talking about toys. This is not me showing my action figures. This is nothing like that. This is just me being real for a minute because I'm just in the mood to be real right now. Maybe because I just heard Blue Rodeo, which always reminded me of my father because my father liked Blue Rodeo. So anytime I hear Blue Rodeo, I think of Dad. And every time I think of Dad, I think about dying early. Every time I think of dying early, I think of mortality, and then I always get swung back into the same thought process. So, this is the thing. And please, feel free to chime in if you want to chime in on the chat. Do you ever feel like a certain point where you're just like stuck in the same rut? I mean, you're just stuck in this place, and you want to get out of it, but you can't get out of it. You are stuck in this place. Like your life hasn't gone the way you thought it would, or you haven't achieved the things that you wanted to achieve in life. Let's say. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy with I've got the kids, the wife, family. That's fine, but like this, I'm not where I thought I would be like 20 years ago, right? And I think most of us are like that. Like we're probably at a point in our lives, especially when you're getting older. Like, trust me, when I was 20 and I was turning 30, I was like, okay, I'm turning 30. Wow, that's confronting, right? Because you're like, holy shit, my 20s are over. Like it's a big deal. And then you don't even think at that point. You're like, holy shit, I'm 30. The next time I feel this way, this new revamp will be when I'm 40, but you don't even think that far ahead because you just turned 30. Then you turn 40. And then you're confronted with that, and you're like, holy shit, I'm 40. Where did my 30s go? I wish I'd had my 30s back. Just like when you turn 30, you wish you had your 20s back. And then eventually, right now, I'm in my almost mid-40s now, and I know that at the end, when I turn 50, I'm going to be like, where did the 40s go? Yet I'm still in the 40s right now, but nothing's really changed, right? Like, I don't find I've made progression. I don't think I've made progression since my 20s, personally. But, I mean, that's not the point. The point that I'm trying to make here is that you kind of like when you get that feeling where you're not where you want to be in your life. You've had all these things you wanted to do in your life. You have all these dreams, all these ambitions. And then you get older and you're like, it's too late for me to go and do those now. And, and I get people will be like, oh, no, it's never too late. It's never too late. It's yes and no. Because sometimes things change in your life, responsibilities change, and you just can't go out and do what you want to do or grab the brass ring as easily as you think you can. Because then you have other people that depend on you, and it's just not the same thing anymore. Hey, Tizify, welcome to the show. The totally, probably non-toy related show, but still, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Ugh. All right, so that's kind of where I am right now. I'm like, it's like, what do you do to get out of it? How do you get out of that? Do you ever get out of it, or do you just live with it? Like, is that just it? Like, don't get me wrong. I understand that some people have way worse than I do in life. I totally get that. I'm not complaining. All I'm saying is that whether you are more advantaged than other people, that doesn't even matter because you can't help the way you feel. You feel the way you feel. That's just it. I can't change the way I feel, right? So I can't change the fact that I feel that I'm not as far ahead of my life where I want to be. I can't change that, right? I can say, well, you have your health, you have this, you have that. That doesn't matter. That doesn't even play in my head right now. What's playing in my head is that, Kevin, you failed. Can you succeed? That's kind of what's going on in my head. And I measure success with time, right? And that's probably because both of my parents died when they were young. So in my head, success is time. I want to be able to have time. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do and not have to worry about repercussions. And I know that sounds crazy because, you're not, when you have responsibilities, you can't really think that way. But you can kind of allow yourself to have some of those freedoms to an extent, right? So I guess that's kind of where I'm going with this. They're kind of where I want to go with this. Basically, I want to be financially independent. I want to be in a position where I can just be able to do what I really enjoy doing and just do that for the rest of my life. Because time is the ultimate currency. And I don't want to waste time anymore. Like, I want to be doing the things that I like to be doing. I want to be retired. I want to be reviewing toys. I want to be enjoying life. I want to be relaxing. I want to be enjoying time with my kids. I'm doing all that. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. Well, the only way that happens is basically if you become a millionaire. That could technically maybe happen, I guess. I do play the lotto. So if that were, if you win $1 million, then you can basically do whatever you want, right? Because I get the health and money doesn't buy health. I understand that. But what it does buy is time. And like I said earlier, time is the most precious commodity, in my opinion. And it's always been. I always say that. You can't buy time. And the older you get, the more you think about that. And the more you realize that every year that goes by, you're just wasting time. You're giving it away. And I don't want to do that anymore, but I don't know how to make it so I don't have to do that anymore. I guess it's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, does that make sense? Like, am I just rambling here? Or, like, people are watching, and if you can comment. If you don't want to, if you're not in the chat, you can always comment after the video. I can go read comments, not comics. Wow, I can read comics too, but read comments. But do you ever feel that way? Do you ever get in a rut where you're like, I don't like this. This isn't what I envisioned for myself. I want to change this, but I don't know how to change it. And I find this, and thanks, Tizify. I appreciate that. It says to me it makes sense. And like example, I'm gonna throw you guys pie in the sky here. Okay, this is Kevin when I was like in high school, right? Kevin in high school. What do you want to do, Kevin? I want to be an oceanographer. There's two things that I want to do. I want to be an oceanographer because I love sharks. I want to be involved with sharks. The other thing I want to do, and this is going to sound crazy, but I don't care. So it was my dream. I wanted to be a professional wrestler. So there are two things that I wanted to be. Okay? I enjoyed entertaining, and I enjoyed sharks. So I wanted to do one of those two things. So, and I mean, back then I could have said, you know what? I'm out of high school. Why don't I go train to be a wrestler? Why don't I do that? But I didn't do it. Why didn't I do it? That's what I don't understand. Why did I conform back then and say, no, I'm just going to work part-time, go to business school, get into IT, and then do that for the rest of my life. Like, that's not what I wanted to do. Why did I do that? Like, you only get one life to live. Why did I want to say waste, because waste is a big word. And it's not exactly wasteful, but like, why didn't I go ahead and do that? I don't understand. Why didn't you do that? And now I'm like, oh shit, man, I should have done that. Well, it's too late now. Like, why? Like, and this might be a message to everybody who's watching this who's not as old as I am, because I know a lot of you people watching these videos grew up watching me, so hopefully you're not overly old. And to go back and do those things. Okay, the oceanographer thing I can see, because when I was in high school, when I went back for upgrading, my father died, and I needed biology in order to get into university to do it, and I was just not into it at all. I did not want to study because my head was totally in another headspace. And I'm not blaming that for it, because the reality is I hated biology. So I don't think it was going to change anything, because I still wasn't interested. I was interested in the sharks, but I wasn't interested in all the jabba jabba that came with it. So I guess in my head I was kind of like, you know what, Kevin, if you could become successful, all right. I think I'm back. Am I back? Am I back? All right. I think I am now. Sorry about that. See, I rant too much and YouTube's like, whoa, dude, you need to shut the fuck up. Shut me off. So where was I? Oh my god. All right. So I guess I was talking about university, sharks, all that stuff. And then all I wanted to do in the end, basically, or I would love to do today, is just have the boat, go out in the water, chum for sharks. It'd be amazing. That'd be life. But alas, I mean, that's not where I'm at right now. And that's kind of where I want to be right now. Let's just go to a few questions. Kikoa Khan used to watch your videos when I was... Alright, so did I fix it? Am I fixed? Alright, I think I'm fixed. Let me make this bigger. Woo, look at me. Alright, sorry about that. I connected to a different connection, and now I should be good to go. Alright, sorry about that. So I was just reading a comment from Keiko Han before I was rudely interrupted by the interwebs. Used to watch your reviews when I was a kid. I'm 22 now. Really grateful for what you've done to the toy community, and I don't partake anymore, but I hope you're doing well and figure everything out. I thank you very much. Keikoa, I think I will figure it out, and eventually, I guess. I have no choice to figure it out, but I do thank you for watching the videos. That's much appreciated. It's always cool. Jordan Cooper, Kevin, you are a champ. Aw, thanks! I appreciate that. I don't really like to talk about these things, but I find that, like, when I'm really, like, if I feel down and I think about these things, I feel like I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to get it out there, because I feel that I'm the most vulnerable at these times, and I feel like I want to go out and talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, then basically you don't really shed any light into it either. It's kind of like me saying, like, I'm always happy-go-lucky. I'm always like, oh, Kevin, oh, I'm always crazy and all that, and I don't have these moments. It's not true. I'm a human being, right? And I don't think it's good that I show a face of me online, and then I don't show this other side of me, because, you know, like, I can't be ashamed of it. Like, it is who I am, right? Like, I'm going to have these moments. It's going to happen. Like, it just is. And I don't think I'm alone in there. And I think that's where the value is, to come out here like this and talk to you guys. Because I think that there's value in people chiming in, seeing different opinions. You know, just realizing you're not alone, right? I guess at the end of the day. Evan Barry writes in, whoa, I thought it was just me. Here are some thoughts for you. I know that in my own life, it can be really difficult to let go of wondering where I'd be if I had made different decisions. But there are still ways you can incorporate your life, the passions that you had when you were younger. Those decisions brought you to where you are today, to a beautiful family, many friends who you inspire every day. Thank you for that, Evan. And I do realize, and that's why when I started off, it's not that I'm not, like, grateful with where I am. It's just I'm not where I thought I would be. And it's not, like, I love my family. Like, it's not that. Like, I wish I would be where I wanted to be in, like, life-wise, and they were there too, type thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I would love to see, or what I would love for it to happen. And I did do what you said about incorporating the things. I did do that because, like, I wanted to be an oceanographer. I didn't have the grades. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go into something that I can do, make some money, and then be able to go see sharks, which I've done, which is cool. I just don't get to do it as much as I'd like to. Because before, if you wanted to go see a great white shark, you had to go to Mexico. Pretty much had to go to Mexico. Now you can go in the Atlantic and see one if you're lucky, you know. And if you're lucky, you can even see them in Canada and in the Atlantic, which is cool. So, which is why I love to just live on the water, have my little boat, go out there, chummy, and have the shark come, hey there, Mr. Kevin, hey shark, what's going on, man? Yeah, just like high five, you're like, street sharks, jabberjaws. That's what I love to do. I would love to be retired right now at my age, have that boat, and be able to do that every day. That would be amazing. Amazing. Mr. Drover, hello from Fort Mac. Saw you back in the Venom 101 days. Cool to see you back. Thank you, Mr. Drover. Fort Mac. Yes, the Fort Mac. Every time I hear Fort Mac, I think of the movie Fubar. She's a deadly bird. She's deadly, the Fort Mac. But very cool. Alberta, very cool. Well, you know I'm a huge Oilers fan, so definitely, I love your area. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm finding it hard to find the words. Like, I'm not discontent with my life, but I'm not happy with it either. I don't know. Is it that I just want the financial independence? Do I just want to be able to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it? Is that selfish? Is that like kind of like, well, you know what? Suck it up, Buttercup. You know, you have to work for what you have and all that. And I believe in that because, like, my dad used to always say that. He used to always say, if you can't have something or you can't afford something, you're not meant to have it, right? Which he would always tell me that. And it always made sense to me. I mean, I don't know. I know, it's just hard. And I think the older you get, the more you realize it. Like, because A, you've had more time to reflect. B, you just have more experience. And C, you just realize you're closer to the finish line and you're at the start line. And like, people will always be like, well, you don't know, you might live to be 100 and all that. Well, okay, fine. That happens, cool, but odds are that's not going to happen. And the odds are I'm not going to be in that great of a shape into my 90s or hundreds, right? You know what I mean? Like, right? I kind of feel like at a certain point you got to be honest with yourself, and I feel like I'm closer to the end than I am to the start. So I kind of don't want to waste any more time doing things that I don't want to be doing. Oh, Mr. Dover, your ambition is healthy. Thank you. Striving for more is human. Shoot for Mars. If you hit the moon, we'll get that sweet. I was shooting for the moon with stocks. I can tell you that much. But yeah, I mean, I know, I agree. I just sometimes when I hear myself say this, I think to myself, oh my God, that sounds selfish, Kevin. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, stop being selfish. And then other times I'm like, well, it's my life though. Like, why can't I get what I want out of it? And then it's just a whole fucking dilemma in my head, man. It's just a battle. It's just like this side and this side. And just like, and then you get all fucking mixed up. And then, I don't know, if you ever suffer from any kind of depression, you ever suffer with any kind of mental illness, you'll know what I mean. It's just, it's a hard war to fight when you're fighting your own mind. Like, it's insane. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. And I'm never going to be able to express it the way I want to express it. I can sit down with my wife, I can talk to her about this, I can tell her about these things. She's not going to, she's not really gonna get it completely, and I can't blame her because she's not wired that way, right? I guess I'm wired differently. Oh, Evan wrote, I think you're just a year older than me, and one of the things I've been thinking about is how I've gotten older. I've learned that the world isn't as kind as I thought it was when I was little. You know what, Evan? I could not agree with you more. And the amount of shittiness that I see on a day-to-day basis is just fucking mind-blowing. People just don't get along. People just want to get on their soapbox, preach bullshit. It's exhausting. It really is exhausting. Sometimes I wonder, like, why do we even have like social media? What's the point? What's the point of it? Like, does it really help us? Like, okay, it's cool to go on Facebook and see pictures of friends and all that. That's awesome. But I mean, then you see all this fucking garbage, and you're like, what is wrong with people? Like, when did common sense become like so uncommon? Like, I don't understand it. And people just hurting each other purposely. People just being a fucking assholes to each other purposely. People just disagreeing with you just to disagree with you, just to start shit, trolling. Like why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Stop the insanity. Like, it's not cool. It's not cool. It's tiresome. It's annoying. It's fucking, oh, I can't begin. And people that just complain for nothing. And maybe I'm doing that now. I don't know. And I'm like, give yourself a shake. Give yourself a shake. Oh. I agree. Common sense, common courtesy. None of it now. It almost doesn't exist. It's weird too because I don't like to make things political, but it's, well, okay, it's hard to act right when the top person that should be acting right acts like an idiot, right? Good thing he's no longer in that position anymore. So hopefully you pick up what I'm putting down here. And if they act like a complete dickhead, then everybody else is going to think, oh, it's okay to act like a dickhead. It's okay. There's no reason to be truthful. There's no reason to be nice. There's no reason to be anything. Just lie, and fuck everyone. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. I fucking hate it. And then I got to bring up children in this world who are going to be like people are going to try to manipulate them into thinking all this fucking bullshit. It's like I think about different things, I hate to mention these things, these groups, but I'm thinking like the Holocaust deniers, the fucking flat earthers, like what? How the fuck do you even believe that? What is wrong with you? Like, come on, there is zero proof of any of that. Like, how can you be so gullible? And that's kind of the basis. And then you think, well, sure, if you can believe that, you can believe anything at all. And then that's how people get fucking sucked in, and then are turned from good people into fucking mindless fucking hate spewing drones because they don't know any better anymore. Because they're so easily manipulated. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm going on a rant here. Just isn't even related to what I was talking about earlier. But, all right, Dr. Drover writes, after leaving university as a semi-pro athlete, a runner, so very individual, I got so resentful that I had to hold myself back to accommodate others, and I felt like I lost my potential. The way I rationalized after for years was that if I didn't lose my potential, I used it differently. I diffused it to others, which is a good thing. No, that's actually true. If you had good potential, you were a good runner, and you actually used that in order to help others, that is great. I get that gain-wise, it's not like, you know what I mean, that may haven't propelled you to the stratosphere, but in reality it kind of did, because it probably made you a unbelievably good person to a lot of people, which is good, right? Because fuck, man, the world's full of shitty people. So if you can become one good person in this world, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like nothing. Like you should be patting yourself on the back. You should be proud of yourself. And I get that you can't turn off your mind, right? So if you and I love the fact that you said that you diffuse it to others, because that's kind of what I've been trying to do basically since I started on YouTube, is trying my best to give a little bit back to everybody, to make the person who reads comics not feel like an outsider, not feel like a nerd, not feel like an outcast, because you're not. The reality is, you guys pretty much rule the world now. We own it! We own it, man. But, yeah. Yeah, we own it to a point. Well, a few people in Silicon Valley, I guess, really own it. But, at last, I digress. That's kind of the way that I think about that. But there are a lot of shitty people out there. Social media brings out a lot of the shittiness in people, because people will say things behind a computer that they would never say in real life. And you know what? And even at that, that's not entirely true now, because some people, if you can find enough like-minded people, then then basically you're not afraid to say these things in real life, because you are now in a gang of people. Which you see in some hateful protests and stuff like that, where people are just more emboldened to say things. And that's also another reason why social media kind of sucks. It's because not only do we give a soapbox to the people who should be heard, we gave a soapbox to the people that probably should not be heard as much. So it's the double-edged sword. Yin and yang. Ah, yes. It's weird. For someone who wasn't planning on doing a video tonight, I rambled quite a bit. I'm impressed. Alright, so I think I'm going to probably log off soon. So basically, in a nutshell, that's how I felt tonight. And I wanted to come on because I wanted you guys to know, yeah, it's okay not to be okay sometimes. Oh, wait, another comment here. Tanyazi, loved your old 101 videos. Thanks, man! Much appreciated. I'll probably be doing more 101 videos. I like to read more. I haven't read a lot of comics lately. I like to read more. I like to do more classes. Maybe we'll do a live one right here, like on live. Just to show you that I'm not like Wikipediaing everything, like some people have accused in the past. That I'm actually, I tend to know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. Evan Perry writes, I hope that venting helped you feel a little bit better. We'll always be there for you, Kevin. I really appreciate that, Evan. It has, actually. I find right before I started doing this video, I was like just like a wound up ball. I was like, oh. And then I was like, okay, you know what? And I think that's kind of where sometimes you do the things that you're not comfortable with doing, but you do them anyway in order for them to become comfortable. And I was like, no, you know what? I don't want to go online. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go online because I think there's a benefit to doing it, because it's uncomfortable for me, first of all. And like I said, I think the only way you really get comfortable by doing things is by doing uncomfortable things. So I figured I would come on, start talking, try and explain how I felt, although I don't know if that really came across too well, because usually when I'm in one of these moods, one of these lulls, I'll call it, one of these, if you're in a stock market, one of these dips, is that, I don't always express myself the best way, but I try, and I think that there's no harm, and there's no failing in trying, especially when it comes to something like this. And I know, and I've always been a huge advocate of mental health. I did the documentary movie Great White Life. If you haven't seen it, it's on my YouTube channel. kind of talks about my dealings with depression and suicide and all that, suicide thoughts and all that stuff. And and I think there's a value in doing it, and I think that more people should do it, because yeah, I think it's good. Also, you're not selfish. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Sometimes when I'm talking to you guys and all that, I don't feel selfish, because then I feel like, I'm just chatting with friends. You know what I mean? Just out there with buddies, which is cool. Sometimes the ideas I have in my head, though, and the feeling not fulfilled and all that, sometimes I feel it's selfish, and I don't want it to come across that way, because I really do. I love my life, but I think I could love it more. And I'm not. Again, it's nothing. It's not a commentary on what's going on, with family, friends, all that. That's all cool. It's just I wish I had more time to do things that I enjoy. I guess that's kind of where I'm getting at. Like, if I could sit here every day and just live stream to you guys, that'd be amazing. Like, I could just shoot the shit, talk toys, talk comics all the time. That would be amazing. But reality is probably not going to happen unless I get super rich super fast. But if ever I do, you hold me to this. If ever I win the lotto and I'm financially secured, other than the times that I'll be on a boat looking for sharks, you can hold me to this. I will be sitting down at this chair and live streaming for you guys and keeping you guys entertained all day long. If you want to hear my crappy voice at 2 a.m. Oh, no, not 2 a.m. maybe. That's kind of fucking early, huh? Yeah, I'm going to have to sleep at some point. All right. If you want to hear it at 7 a.m., noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, not in the morning, then you'd be like, fuck, I can just turn on the stream. There's Kevin. There's Kevin. He's showing me new toys, showing me what's new in the action figure world, what's new in comics, what happened on wrestling last night. Like, I'm going to do that for you guys. I'm going to do it for you guys, because I think that would be cool. That would be something that I would actually enjoy doing. Because A, I know it would be giving you guys a service, and B, as I am locked in this basement, the only way to entertain myself is to entertain you. That's the purpose of the show. Alright, so I am going to end the stream. Oh, better question. Forget going on a boat. If you win the lotto, you can buy a giant pool for your shark pets. Oh, I wish I could, man. I love great white sharks, and they do not do well in captivity. I mean, yeah, I'd have. Oh my god, the size of aquarium it would take to keep one. Okay, we'll do this. I'll get a pool with some sharks in it, not great whites. I don't know, like small sharks, fucking dogfish sharks, I guess. And I will get a laptop with the highest package of Starlink that I can get. Papa Elon will give me the master internet on the ocean. I will live stream from the ocean. You'll be there with me. We'll bring up some great whites, rub them underneath the snout like this guy, like that, and they'll go all in catatonic, like that. They'll go all catatonic. We'll rub their bellies. It'll be fun. We'll do it all together. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to be doing. That'd be cool. I like that. Alright. So now I have to go, because I have to go finish Squid Game. Yes. I'm watching Squid Games. And after I'm done watching it, I want to talk about it a little bit, because it's an interesting show. So maybe we'll talk about it. Never know. Maybe I'll come back on tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But it'll be soon. We'll chat again soon. For sure. If not next Thursday, before next Thursday. Alright guys. Seriously, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for indulging me in my semi-midlife crisis. It really helps, and seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I want to wish you guys a very, very good night. And until next time, take care. Later.